Welcome to this free Feng Shui webinar where we will gain an understanding of exactly what Feng Shui is and how it is already affecting our lives in our own homes and offices. So we use this example to understand how Feng Shui is already working in our environments. Our Feng Shui consultation begins on the outside of the building, where we consider the location of the structure, the building itself in regards to the local landscape or topography. We're going to start by using form school principles, which is the most ancient form of Feng Shui, and it's used for the correct placing of buildings in the landscape. We're looking for a tall feature behind the building. So as we see the building here, we can see trees behind. In ancient times, this used to be a mountain or hill within sight. However, we've now found that trees or other buildings behind also work as long as they're not too close to overlook. We're looking to contain energy at the back of the home, as this brings long-term stability, confidence, and security. It is known as the black tortoise. If you do not have this feature, Feng Shui can compensate for this within your home. On the left-hand side of the home, from the perspective of inside looking out. So within the house, facing the front, the left-hand side is what we call the green dragon. And that should be about a third less than the black tortoise behind. This supports the males of the home, as well as promoting creativity and enhanced potential for all. Opposite this, on the right-hand side as we look out, is the white tiger. And this wants to be about half the size of the green dragon. In this example, if this is slightly more prominent, it can mean female domination, hesitancy in making decisions, as well as limited growth, all of which can be fixed within the home by simple room arrangement. Finally, a general slope away from the house towards the road represents the red bird or phoenix, which is said to be a visionary creature and is said to enable the occupants to see problems before they develop. Certainly with hills or structures on three sides, a gentle slope away from the front should ensure that flooding is not one of them. Seriously though, downward slope can be useful when considering investments, and the opposite of that, an upward slope, can mean an upward struggle in life. However, all of which can be fixed through a Feng Shui consultation or through our training courses. More in a moment. Before going into the house, we need to analyze the texture, shape and color of this home in relation to the landscape. We use what is known as the 5 elements, which consist of water, wood, fire, earth and metal, to balance energy and bring harmony instead of stress to an environment. Here we see that the building is rectangular and is therefore an earth shape. And this can bring conflict when found within a wooden landscape, such as insect infestation or tree roots damaging foundations. Luckily, the fire shape of the portico, and to some extent the roof, gives us that fire element and reduces the tension between wood and earth. Finally, this house faces north, and the green front door in this position signifies creativity and expansion and helps offset some of the problems caused by the white tiger. The entrance and open plan living space, which extends into the center of the house, comprises the north. In Feng Shui, this is known as the journey and signifies your present and immediate future in your life. Whatever is found here in terms of fixtures and fittings will have a direct bearing on how you are currently living your life, whilst the color, texture and location of all items will affect your performance. Here we can see that the pictures on the wall signify excellent management with everything in its proper place. The shape of the picture frames is perfect for establishing and realizing ambition, whilst the white and grey walls and white ceiling help the energy to flow, and this provides all the drive and resources to accomplish them. The wooden floor then adds a touch of creativity and fulfillment, indicating the occupants should be both happy and successful. Moving into the east. The eastern sector of this open plan home signifies our roots, heritage, or where we come from. Ultimately, this is what made us who we are today, and as such, should be respectful of all that helped shape us along our way. By honouring our ancestors here, as well as those that have inspired us in our lives, We gain respect from others, particularly our peers, such as parents, in-laws, bosses, or those who have control over us. Usually placing artifacts or images of them here will help promote respect from them. However, that is difficult to do here in such a formal setting. So let's use the ascending staircase behind the mirror to hang pictures that showcase all sources of our inspiration and support. So this wall going up here, this wall is still in the east. In such formal settings as this, it's easy to clutter the area by hanging inappropriate pictures around the dining area. It's therefore useful to realize that Feng Shui should work on all of our senses, and instead of vision, we can use scent. So a favorite smell, taste, food, or hearing, music, to remind us of to those that have inspired us. This may suggest a problem with peers, which in this position would need to be balanced by the element of water. And instead of a water feature, we have used the flowing cascade shapes of the chandelier over the table, mirrored by the bowl and platter, and the mirror itself. In fact, the whole dining arrangement symbolizes a mandala formation that enhances all reflections of our family and mentors. This is the northeast, an area of quiet reflection or contemplation. It's well furnished with a comfortable sofa and chairs. This area has a direct influence on our direction in life and how we react with our partners and outside world. As such, it is best to keep it tidy, as any clutter here represents barriers that stop us from tapping into our inner essence, to our natural direction in life. The colours and textures work well in this location, and a mountain would make a suitable picture to go behind the sofa, whilst the formation of the structure on the right-hand wall points to natural development. This is the south, and it represents your future and what you'd like to be recognized for. In this setting, we have a subtle bagua, that's 8 trigram, 8 placings around the table, and 3 eccentric circles, representing Heaven on top, Earth on the bottom, and Man in the middle, which as a professional Feng Shui master, that works for me. In terms of elements, the earth-colored furnishings support the rounded table and seating, whilst the patio doors allow natural sunlight to enrich the area. However, the most useful aspect of this setting is that in an open plan home with a front door in line with the back, a rounded structure is essential to allow energy to flow across the space, not just along it, from one side to the other, instead of out the rear door. Let's continue. This is the southeast. It's traditionally known as the fortunate blessing sector or area, and not wealth, which is somewhat limited. It is an area where you take stock of the many ways in which your life is blessed, and in that way you find fulfillment and happiness instead of coveting what you do not yet have. As health is perhaps our finest blessing, what better way to celebrate than by having the kitchen here? Preparing the freshest ingredients, then eating our meal with perhaps family or friends is truly a pleasure indeed. Quiet reflection and viewing the garden through the window while sitting here reminds us that we are an integral part of nature. Reflection also helps us balance the energy flow between the wood of the sector and the metal finishes of the cabinets and appliances, as without it our natural flow is somewhat restricted. Reflective finishes help boost light and heat around the kitchen, which assists energy flow. Similarly, the flowing shapes in the light fixture helps too, as does more glass, flowing shapes, black, dark blue or purple colours. And the water element taste is saltiness. This final area today is the relationship sector, and is primarily concerned with just 2 people, you and your partner. You can, of course, have as many people as you like depicted here, but whatever is here will factor into your relationship somehow. For instance, if you have pictures of friends here, then every time you want to be alone with your partner, friends call or unexpectedly pop round. We can read your environment to see what is happening in your life, and the delicate blossom of the orchid beside the fireplace epitomizes this type of relationship. This is because it usually takes a long time for orchids to grow, and their seeds are usually dependent on a network of fungi to supply their needs. This symbolizes both partners coming together in later life after a successful career with plenty of travel and cultural interests. They appreciate the subtleties of each other and can be quite autonomous when needed, yet equally affectionate when appropriate. The white furnishings indicate that they enjoy traveling and doing things together, although the open plan arrangement gives them independence and freedom when needed. Yet, at the center of this area is a glass coffee table, indicating transparency and openness at the heart of their relationship. Interestingly, balancing relationships in home or commercial consultations is a major part of the Feng Shui business. And in our professional training course, we'll learn how to do this as well as so much more. Perhaps the most interesting aspect is that we take what we learn in each workshop, in each class, and have the ability to instantly apply it to a live environment via a broadband consultation. This gives our students such great experience that when they qualify at the end of the year, they can deal with most anything that comes their way.